China might be helping Ukraine and NATO take down Russia. It's clear that China wants uncontested dominance in the South Pacific and even further out west and southwest. But what about the north? Russia is still holding on to a large chunk of land that's been historically Chinese. The Chinese have not forgotten about this, but they know they can't just take it because Russia does have enough power to resist such an invasion. But the Russian invasion of Ukraine may be giving China that opportunity. You should read this article by Andrew Michka, China Stands to Gain from a Weakened Russia and the West Should Prepare Now. The fact that Russia could not take Ukraine in a matter of weeks showed China that they're nowhere near as strong as they tried to project. And this slow bleed of Russian military equipment, along with losing 645,000 troops, keeps Russia in a compromised position. The longer it takes Russia to surrender and leave Ukraine, the weaker it will eventually become. And that may be the reason why China is still supplying Russia with so much machinery and equipment that can be used for warfare. China funding Russia by buying their oil and other hydrocarbons, along with providing equipment that the Russians can use, allows them the opportunity to lose manpower and weaken their military infrastructure in the long run. And while it's true, Russia has so much munitions, so much military equipment, but they do not have enough to take on all of NATO's resources. This is more apparent as Ukraine drone and missile strikes keep destroying Russian weapon centers. And this is with Ukraine being denied the opportunity to make deeper strikes into Russia. If they're allowed to use Tomahawks or Storm Shadow missiles, or even come up with their own long-range cruise missile, then Ukraine can launch attacks in this entire radius. While Russia's threatened to use nuclear weapons if such a thing happens, remember that Putin made the same promise if Ukraine ever invaded Russia, and Ukraine's been in there for over a month. No nukes have been launched. Maybe, just maybe, those long-range attacks being allowed will be the nail in the coffin for Putin's regime. Along with the fact that 98% of Chinese banks aren't accepting any Russian payments, and Russia was just subjected to a massive Chinese cyber attack in the end of July. Now, I'm not saying that Ukraine and NATO is even aware or agreed to what China is possibly doing. They don't need to know about it. China can just keep capitalizing off of what's happening in Russia. And maybe, just maybe, if something like this was happening and NATO caught wind of it, they may stay quiet. While China's ambitions are a threat to Western interests, they aren't necessarily an enemy like Russia. They're more of a competitor. And compared to Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping is not an irrational actor, at least not yet. Now, this is all conjecture, but I am curious as to why China has started sanctioning Russia so intensely, along with hacking their government institutions. My name is the Geo Husar, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. Thanks for watching.